Hello everyone, welcome in my new video. Today we're gonna review the newest MiniArt kit, Pz.Kpfw 4 Ausf.J Nibelungwerk Lake production, January-February 1945. As you see here, it's an interior kit, of course in 1/35 scale. The catalog number of this kit is here 35342. It's the newest MiniArt kit. It's one from the Panzer IV series from this manufacturer. As you see, this kit comes in rather large box with very cool box art. On the sides of the box we have some information about the kit and the color profile. I really like the late German camouflage, and they looks very interesting in my opinion. Let's see what's inside the box. Of course, the box is open top, and here it is. As usual in MiniArt products, everything was packed in foil, just for better protection the content during the shipment. I just pull off everything from the plastic bag and put on the box. First we have the instruction, envelope with PE parts, very big, tracks, clear parts and decal sheet, rather large, and the plastic parts. Now let's focus on the instruction. As usual for MiniArt kits, this kit provides colorful instruction. It's booklet format A4. On the first page we have nice color profile and some information about this kit. For example, highly detailed model, driver compartment interior accurately represent, fully detailed fighting compartment, highly detailed interior of turret, all hatches can be paused, open and closed, full ammunition include, engine include, individual track links include, clear parts include, PE parts include, decal sheet for 5 options. A lot of feature, as you see. Next we have some pretty cool color profile, winter camouflage, and the next one also in winter whitewash. The sprue map, large PE sheet, a lot of parts as you see. It is a very complex kit. 1, 2, 3, 4 big page only for the sprue map. And first build step, of course we started from a fighting compartment inside the tank. As you see, the instruction is rather clear and easy to follow. Everything is clearly showed. Engine construction, very nicely detailed, etc, etc. The kit looks pretty complex, as you see here, a lot of details inside the tank, but the instruction is rather clear. so the construction should be not the easiest, but possible for sure. I built a few MiniArt interior kits and they look very complicated at the first look, but when you start building it and follow the instruction, everything it's possible to do. And the turret construction, and that's all. As you see, the instruction contains 148 steps and 40 pages. Insane. The color chart, as you see, the MiniArt provides paint numbers for Vallejo, Mr. Color, AK, Real Colors, Mission Models, Ammo Mic, Tamiya. So the most popular paints are presented here, so there's no problem. Find what paint do you need to build this model, and on the end of, at the end of the instruction we have another color profiles in summer camouflage, the next one in winter camo, looks really cool, and the last color paint scheme. Okay, now let's check the plastic parts. As you see, the box is full of plastic, so to not boring you too much, I just fast show you the spruce and tell only a few words about it, because if I want to do you know, every part step by step, show you everything, the video will took me an hour or more, so I think that the better way is only show you fast what contains in this box and tell a little bit about my thoughts about this kit. So let's start. First sprue with the multiple parts like the hatches, the turret parts, firewall, cupola parts, stowage bin, and the fenders. As you see, everything is crisply molded. MiniArt is known from very good little details. Their kits are very complex to build, and the part count is rather big, but you get a very detailed kit, and when you build it, it looks just awesome. And I'm sure the same will be with this set. The hinges, everything is pretty nicely done. Also the steel cutting marks are nicely replicated. The shirtsen are thin, also with nice detail. Unfortunately they have some pin marks here, but I'm sure it will be invisible after the assembly. The next big sprue with fenders with nicely done rifled steel texture, the turret roof with pretty cool details, Thomas shorts and brackets also looks nice, spare tracks, pretty cool. Front plate, side plates, and as you see, the kit didn't comes from the upper hull and lower hull, but it's rather like Tamiya kits when you need to build everything from plates, but I hope everything will fit together very well. Next sprue with some tiny parts like the return roller brackets, wheels. I'm sure they are the spar wheels with very cool signs on the tires, small hooks and other bits. Everything nicely molded. A little bit of flash here, but it's nothing too hard to remove. As you see here, two types of the wheel caps. I'm sure that they are here to represent the different manufacturers of the real vehicle, or the vehicle builds in different time periods. There's a lot of features like this. There's a couple of different parts like this, different muzzle brakes, different turret hatch doors, and etc. etc. Sprue with internal parts, the ammunition, gas mask, containers, MG ammunition, and other small parts. Next sprue with internal parts, again nicely done. Rifle steel texture. It's a fighting compartment floor. The parts for the ammunition racks. Everything looks pretty nice. The next sprue with internal parts, like the turret basket, radio, very nicely detailed, the gearbox, fighting compartment floor with ammunition racks and the batteries, and the other smaller bits for the interior. Loader seat or driver seat, I don't know, to be honest. Next big sprue with full different details, of course, for the interior, some floor bracing and a lot of different parts with great details. And the next sprue with the floor of the tank. As you see, it's full detailed, all rivets, are nicely represented. The turret part also looks nice. The fender and the interior of the fighting compartment. Of course, there are a few pin marks, but I'm sure they will be invisible after the final assembly. Hatches with some really small details, like here. MiniArt is known for this. They add a lot tiny details. They are hard to build, but very nicely detailed, and as you see here, the seam, the weld bits looks very realistic. Next sprue with whole sides. This is the interior side, and this is the outside. Well detail from the both sides. Let's go further. The next sprue with some MG parts and different shape of the muzzle brakes. 4 different parts for this detail. The Schurzen for the turret, well detailed on both sides, and the other smaller bits. Lamp base, next sprue with top of the hull, the cupola ring, and the muzzle brakes. As you see, they are plastic but nicely done. 4 different shapes. And the plastic gun barrel made as a one piece. It's a good information that we don't need to glue them from 2 halves. Spare tracks, gun mantlet, and other details. Everything crisp and sharp molded. Next sprue with interior parts. As you see, there are some engine parts, the gearbox, I think it's a gearbox, the radiators with cool texture, fans also nicely done, a lot of stuff, but everything looks awesome. A sprue with engine parts, very crisp molding. Let's see how the sprue gates are really thin, so the parts are easily fall off from the sprue. You just need to be aware to know don't lose any part. The next nicely detailed piece. The engine part looks awesome. Here we have some internal parts for the turret and gun. The shell basket and other details for the gun interior. The gun breech here and here. Some pipelines, OMG, and other smaller parts. The second sprue with engine details. To be honest, I don't know what the parts are, but looks pretty cool. I'm sure that there's for the engine. The engine block parts and the other. As you see here, some sprues contain only one part, like this. This is the upper part of the fighting compartment. This is the places for the radioman and driver hatches. And again, nice texture, some bold details, and nicely done weld details, which are visible here. And the crew hatches. Two different style of the turret side doors, with a visor and without. Of course, they are nicely detailed from the both sides. Two sprues with tools, as you see here. On this sprue there are tools with molded on clamps. I'm sure I will upgrade the clamps with PE. I have a Voyager set, but they are not bad. They are rather subtle and thin, and if you want, you just can leave them as it is. The fire extinguisher, and the second sprue with tools contain S hooks, C hooks, the jack, shovel, tow cable eyelet, but the other tools like axe, starting crank and shovel without the clasps, so if you want, put them separately next to the tank, or just use full P tool brackets. They will be very helpful because you don't need to remove the molded plastic clasps. Tool the same sprues with the boogie details. Look at the detail here. It's awesome. There are shorts and brackets. The level of details in this kit is incredible. The same here. Some casting numbers on every boogie bracket. 4 sprues with wheels and other boogie parts, and as I mentioned before, the different style of wheel hoops for different production time period or different manufacturers. Pretty cool wheels with nice signs on the rubber tires. Very nicely and crisply molded parts. 3 sprues with return rollers and the same different patterns for different production vehicles, the same as wheel hubs on the sprue before. And of course, I haven't seen any molding issues on the sprue. 3 sprues with idler wheels, 2 different type, as you see here, the earlier and the later. Both of them looks great. 6 sprues with ammunition rounds. The Pz.Kpfw 4 can carry a lot of different type of ammunition, but every type is replicated in this kit. There are a lot. 14 rounds on each sprue, so almost 80 rounds included in the kit. A lot of painting and they will look fine after painting. And last but not the least, the tracks. As you see here, they are single link tracks, workable with pins. This is the jig included in the kit for the easier assembly of the tracks. The pins and the back with single tracks. As you see, they are nicely detailed, with even with cast numbers molded inside. There are the light type with solid guide horns. Every track links need to be cleaned up in 3 places, but the sprue gates are really thin, so the cleaning process should be rather fast. The instruction tell us that the track assembly don't require any glue, but I assembled some workable MiniArt tracks and the pins just fall off after the assembly, so when you put the glue and on the pin and put it on the hollow. They just don't fall off, and the tracks are still workable, so I just recommend use a little bit of glue to secure the pins inside the tracks. A sprue with clear parts. As you see here, there are only a few parts. The cupola, visors, the parts for the headlights, driver visors, and the scissor lornetta for the observation. Scissor binoculars, sorry. The decal sheet is rather big. As you see, there are some standard stuff like the numbers and signs, the interior gouges, some pretty small part for the interior, the divisional insignia, decals for the ammunition rounds. Everything just looks okay. I built a few MiniArt kits and always the decals do not bring any problems during working with them. The carrier film is rather thin and the colors are okay. Nothing to complain about. And the last part of this kit, the big paper envelope with MiniArt logo, contains two big P sheet. This contains the Thomas Schurzen and the brackets for them. They are really thin, so they could bend rather easily, so it's a good news for everyone who like to represent some damages on the side skirts. And the next smaller one with other small details, the ammunition rack and a lot of very fiddly and small parts. And that's all. Okay, I showed you the whole content of this kit, and as you see, it's a very complex kit with a lot of parts. Of course, it's very nice details. It's full interior kit, so you know it's not a build for the weekend or two, but it's rather a long-term build. The kit have pretty cool features like workable tracks, workable suspension, different details for different time production vehicles, a lot of P parts. Everything seems that it will be a gorgeous kit after the build, and I like it very much and just recommend it. It's rather expensive because it costs in my country around 65 euro, so it's not for the beginner, but if you build a few kits and want to challenge yourself with some very complex kit, this is for you. Let's try. The quality of this kit is very good. The parts are molded pretty nice without any issues. So if you want to build Panzer IV, this kit is perfect. That's all for today. Thank you for watching and see you on the next episode.